Hey everybody, it's Afefe with Touch by Tarot, and today as I was spreading the cards, Spirit was like, listen, don't even bother getting your face all done up because we want to hone in. We want everybody to really hone in on the cards today. I feel like some of you, I hope everyone who lands on this reading, but I feel for certain you all, like get your notepads, listen carefully because there are definitely some messages that are coming through for you. As most of you know, if you follow me, I typically do my recordings, with my face. I record with you seeing me and I reveal. But today, Spirit was like, we really need to hone in on these images. So I always pay attention and I'm going to do this pick a card for you all. We have a new moon in Cancer coming on July 17. I am taping this on what is today? Friday the 14th. Okay. So get yourself centered, take some deep breaths. Let's think about Cancerian energy as we go in. The new moon is in Cancer. The sun is still in Cancer. And excuse me if I'm sounding a little raspy. I'm getting over a little sniffle. All right, so new moon is in Cancer. Sun is still in Cancer. But check it out, you all. We also have, in terms of astrology and influences, this is happening while, there's an opposition to Pluto and Capricorn. And basically what that means is when we think about Cancer, we're thinking about love and all of the taking care of home and nurturing and the divine mother, going with the flow, like that deeply protective. Think about it. We are all, in the womb. We are supported by water. Water is life-giving. Our bodies are what, 90% water or something like that? So just the importance of water, the element of water in our lives and how it does, from a spiritual perspective and even physiological perspective, it relates to our bodies and our emotional state of being. All right, with this Pluto and Capricorn, it's very much about brass tacks and getting down to business and the structures in our lives and how we, the goals that we set for ourselves, our ambition and the changes that we're willing to make to reach those goals. All right, so you've got those two things coming together, one a very strong and two very cardinal signs. Cancer is a cardinal sign. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, meaning the ideal people, the pioneers, the people who are not, the energies that are not afraid to go out and start something new, get it going, change things up. It's just the areas of life that they do it in. With Cancer, you very often are doing it in regards to your home, your family, your domestic relationships, your self-care, your body, how you feel, your healing, all of that. And with Capricorn, it's like, okay, but let's get organized. Let's have definitive goals. Let's write some things down. Let's get a business plan together, even if it's about something personal. Okay. So think about those as you meditate on which one of these piles really applies to you. I was drawn to pile number 1. And you know my process, or if you don't, if you're new to my channel, welcome, please like and subscribe. But I do not see these cards. I go into prayer, meditation, I cleanse the decks, and I put the piles down before I tape. It just saves you from watching me do cards for about 10 minutes, all right? So pile number 1 is this medallion. And hold that up. Make sure you see, get a good look at it, all right? That's pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the peacock feather. That's what I was drawn to for pile number 2, peacock feather. And for pile number 3, this nice big chunky quartz. All right, that's pile number 3. All right, so just take a moment, think about those, and see which one you're drawn to. And we're going to go ahead and go in. Let me put these other 2 aside. That's number 3. Number 2. All right, pile number 1. So this new moon in Cancer and what you can expect having, thinking about these energies, these different energies that between Cancer and that polarity with Capricorn. Let's see what you can expect. What message Spirit has for you for this new moon in Cancer. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have Justice. We have Your dreams need a practical plan. We were just talking about that Capricornian energy, right? Even though it's a full moon in Taurus depicted on here. We have close encounters with a decision, some soul work that needs to happen. Be spontaneous, and then a crystal that will help you. We'll get to that at the end. All right, you all. And I will show you these cards even closer, even though I'm pretty sure you can see them there, but I'll hold them up as I hone in on them. Let's look at I like the combination of these two that are speaking to me right now. Remember I showed you, it said your dreams need a practical plan. And you also had the Queen of Pentacles, who is talk about practicality. But what I love about this for you all, pile number one, is Spirit is basically showing me that you've got some great ideas and you've got some great momentum behind you. You have definitely, you have the ability to manifest. Let's get that out there, pile number one. You definitely have the ability to manifest, and I think you have found a way to really utilize your resources. You understand, having things make sense to you is really, really important. And the way that you're going about it is, you have dreams. So no matter what you already have, this new moon in Cancer is saying, we want you to get into the flow of appreciating what you have, because we can see that you are capable of having so much more and building so much more. Like abundance is truly a part of your fabric and a part of your DNA. Notice we've even got the little bunny rabbit right down in there, and that is a sure sign of prosperity in almost all cultures. We see them, but rabbits as a totem. And also keeping in mind, this is the Chinese year of the rabbit, right? So keep that in mind. This year, and especially focusing on the second half of 2023, pile number one, it is about you increasing on and building on what you already have, and really getting your dreams to, building on that manifestation through practicality. Here's what I can do this month. Here's one step I can take this month. Here's another step I can take the next month, and so on. That practicality. You have the Justice card, which, is also ruled by Venus. So this is also about beauty and the way that you want to conduct your relationships in a prosperous and profitable and joyful manner. Because that's part of what all that Queen of Pentacles and that dreams needing a practical plan is about. But with Justice, there's also a reckoning for some of you all. There's something that, it could have been where you had your way of going about it and someone else had their way, and there was a disconnect. And with Libra, Justice is ruled by Libra, is a master at finding that balance between, sometimes two extremes, but sometimes it's just a matter of incorporating two different points of view. All right. So think about that in terms of where you are right now and keeping the flow. All things relating back to water and the flow with Cancer new moon, all right? How do you get the flow of your benefits and your prosperity to keep going? By maintaining a balance and keeping your equilibrium, not just in terms of what it is that you want, but making sure that you're taking into consideration the other person's needs and how things are going to work out so that it's equitable to both parties or both situations. Okay. Close encounters. Spirit is saying, listen up, because we are talking to you. We're going to come in your dreams. We're going to bring people around you that, something they say is going to ping you a certain way. There are close encounters. This could even be when you are taking a walk in nature. Or, you find yourself, suddenly you see somebody walking their pets, or maybe you're walking your pets out, and something that they do, something pings you. But there's a lot of close encounters coming your way during this new moon in Cancer. And by that, it's basically Spirit is saying, pay attention to what is around you. Use that in making that your dreams, turning those dreams into a practical plan, because that's what's going to help you. We are sending you signs and signals and giving you close encounters to give you confidence and understand, hey, you are on track. If any of you who were drawn to this pile number one did so because you're questioning, am I on track? Am I headed in the right direction? Your answer is yes. But Spirit is also recognizing that you've got some decisions that you're making, or a decision, an important decision that you're making. And that is another reason why those close encounters are coming, because they're going to give you some signs and clarity around the best way to go at that decision. And you know what else? This is Mars in Gemini, so that decision making. But a lot of this is, there's a lot of airy energy coming up here with Mars in Gemini. Justice is in Libra, also an air sign. So this is very much, while we're dealing with the earth, earthly aspects of what's manifesting in your life, this is also about having a change in your thoughts and your dialogue. And these close encounters are going to help you do that. It's going to help you make the decisions. And I think it's going to lead you perhaps in a way that you didn't expect. Because we've also got this oracle, be spontaneous, the mermaid. Be spontaneous. And that may be something that doesn't come naturally for some of you, pile number one, because especially if you're accustomed to operating in that Queen of Pentacles and needing a practical plan, Moon and Taurus, you like things stable. You like things knowing that you can count on it once you put your effort into it, once you put your heart, your soul, your time into it. But Spirit is saying, you know what? This close encounter could be something that prompts you to just do something in an entirely new and different way. And Spirit is saying, give yourself permission to be spontaneous. If it feels right, go for it. Because what's going to happen is, it is soul work that you're doing, pile number one. It's soul work that you're doing. It is soul work that this new moon in Cancer, with all of its loving, nurturing, remembering too, divine mother energy, that there is something in your soul that is craving that freedom to be spontaneous. I think for many of you, you've had a lot of responsibility, or you have felt responsible. And sometimes it could have been actual responsibility, like the bills are bills, the things are the things that you have to take care of, and there's no avoiding it. But I also get the sense that for some of you, you take on responsibility in areas that, sometimes it's not even yours to bear. That's how I'm feeling it. It's not yours to bear. And you have been so willing to step up and get it done. Maybe because you felt like you had to, you didn't have any other choice. Talking about decisions, looking at a chessboard here as well. I just noticed the imagery again on this card, that chessboard. So you've been making moves. You've become accustomed to making moves that needed to make sense. You needed to make sure, and feel really certain within yourself. Hey, if I do this, here's going to be the return on it. If I decide to do it this way, I have a pretty good chance of this or that. You like knowing, hedging your bets, and knowing that once you set it in motion, here's going to be the payoff. You don't like when things get a little too rickety and a little too, off the cuff. You're not a gambler. I'm not feeling gamblers here at all. But Spirit is saying, be spontaneous. There's some sort of opportunities that are coming towards you, some sort of encounters, perhaps with people. I'm going to ask, I'm curious, I do want to get a little more clarity for you around that. Spirit, what is that close encounter, and how is that going to play out in the opportunity for pile number one to be spontaneous and to have these equitable and fair decision-making processes? What's the close encounter? The Ten of Swords. Okay, this is, I got it. And the Ten of Wands. Okay. Spirit is saying the close encounter is they are coming to help clear something out. It is the end of a cycle for you all in something that has given you a lot of worry and a lot of burdens, all right? It is about, we were just talking about carrying a lot of responsibility, pile number one. And these close encounters are coming to say, and notice they are all tens. Thank you for that confirmation, Spirit. This card, you see that number 10 up there in the top? And then I just pulled for you 2 tens. The 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. That is a number of new beginnings. And you've got like triple confirmation that just happened for you, pile number 1. I hope you are feeling that. This is the end of a cycle. These close encounters are your spirit guides coming through full force to bring you into a new awareness, a new part of your journey, a new pathway to bringing your dreams to life. And it's going to require you to do it in a slightly different way because you got to be spontaneous to take advantage of it. All right? It's awesome. You are definitely crossing over a threshold into new territory where you can let go of some of those worries and let go of some of that responsibility with that 10 of Wands and that 10 of Swords and that 10 of Close Encounters. That's your key. Be on the lookout for your close encounters. And your stone that will help you is mahogany obsidian. And it resonates with the solar plexus chakra. Show that to you there. Trying to work around this ring light. Okay, there we go. So it's the mahogany obsidian. You can always look it up if you haven't seen it, but what I'm paying attention to is the area in the body, the chakra that it resonates to. So this is about you having confidence, and it is about paying attention to your gut, pile number 1. If you tend to question yourself or overthink things, then that watery Cancerian new moon is saying, with that be spontaneous, is saying, just go with the flow. Go with your gut. Pay attention to your hunches. And then that's how those close encounters, that's how those close encounters manifest for you all. And also keep in mind, this is all a part of your soul work. On those days where it feels like it is, it's a lot, remember, it's just your soul lightening up. It's your soul unveiling itself to you. It's your soul letting you know this is what keeps you in balance. This is what keeps your prosperity flowing. This is what keeps your relationships to abundance, to your spirit guides, to those you love in your life. With that Cancerian new moon, this is what keeps it all in balance so that everybody can come out on top. You especially. All right, pile number 1. That was an awesome, awesome reading. Please let me know what you thought about that, and let me know. Keep your eye on those, on who comes to you and what you see in nature, especially. Okay. All right. So that's your stack. I'm going to move you to the side, and now pile number 2. Those of you who were drawn to the peacock feather. Let's get your messages for this new moon in Cancer. We have a 7 of Swords. We have a 6 of Pentacles. We have a win-win outcome is forecast. All right, how about a direct message for you, pile number 2? It is what it is. So there's some acceptance there. There's organization and surrender. I'm going to put that with that is what it is. And there's a stone that will help you, which is opal. We'll get to that in a moment. And truth comes for you. All right. Well, here we go. Number 1, this Cancerian new moon is going to reveal some truths, and it may not tickle at first, but it also is going to be a reality check for you that at this point in your life, pile number 2, you're ready for it. Here's why I say that. First card we saw is that 7 of Swords. Look how sneaky it looks. It looks sneaky because it is sneaky, all right? Usually when you get a 7 of Swords, somebody is not being honest. Something's happening that is not, is not on the up and up. Somebody could be trying, telling you one thing and doing another. It could also occasionally, it can point to self-deception where you're not, where you're not being honest with yourself about something, or you could be tempted to behave in a way that is not really in your best interests, okay? So that's at play. However, with any kind of deception that's going on, this oracle steps right in and she says, but listen up. In all my watery glory, as this mermaid energy, I'm bringing the truth. Pile number 2, there's some revelation that's coming your way, and it's going to be like, listen, here's honestly what this person is about, or here's, this job situation, people, and they're not being on the up and up with you. And so we're going to kind of fine tune your intuition so you pick up on it and you're able to see through it and get to the root of it. because it is what it is, and that's just it. I think Spirit is saying here for you, pile number 2, you've reached a point where you're ready to call the shots for what it is. It's not even about being afraid of the truth or afraid to, some of us, we can kind of avoid things. We can get into a state of avoidance because the truth can be painful, but the truth is also the light. And for you all, I think there's a recognition of that, and you're like, bring it to me. I'm ready for it. I can deal with anything as long as I understand truly what I'm dealing with. As long as I can see it and face it for what it is. I feel like for many of you, if you were drawn to this is a time relating to your business, even if you are in business for yourself, or if you work for someone else, or if you are doing multiple things. You may be, you may work, but also have a side gig or a side hustle or whatever. But this is about your business. This is about your money. And this is about how you are running your plans for your future. Because there's organization here. And that's got, this is also Mercury in Capricorn. Remember, we said at the beginning of the tape, I was reminding you all that while Cancer, this is a Cancer new moon, it is also in opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So there is Capricornian energy at play here. And that energy can kind of give you some pushback in terms of how you are moving ahead emotionally. You could be really happy and convinced. Yes, I know that I can do this. I've got the confidence. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But what that Capricorn energy checks in to say, okay, but do you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed? Have you taken a moment to sit down with yourself and look long term at what the decisions you make now are going to lead to, right? Because remember, we often have to remind ourselves that the reality that we are in today is based on the decisions and the choices that we made yesterday and in the years prior, right? That's how life, unfolds. There is opportunity though, you all. Like, you can get things coming toward you, and it's just about keeping a balance between give and take, because you got that 6 of Pentacles. So the truth is, if you were made to feel like whatever it is that you wanted, or the steps that you've been taking, the work that you've been putting in is somehow gone unnoticed, unappreciated, it's not growing at the rate that you deserve. Maybe some of you are particularly impacted by, things, ideas around inflation. Especially if I'm feeling for some of you, if you are retired or on a fixed income, you're trying to be really careful with what you have, talking about the 6 of Pentacles, what goes in and what goes out, right? In and out. But there's that keeping, staying organized. But here you have a win-win outcome is forecast. This is your cherry on top of the sundae, all right? Pile number 2. A win-win outcome is forecast for you all. Crystal clear message for you. And I think the thing is surrender. This is your key. It's to surrender. Surrender to it is what it is. Don't spend too much time in mulling over, well, how did I get to this point? Or, all the things that it took to reach today's level, like where you spend so much time looking backward over your life or re-examining past choices that you can kind of miss out on the miracle that is sitting right in front of you. And I think for some of you, that win-win outcome is basically Spirit giving you a reminder that everything that you've done, all the seeds that you've planted, all the times that you have been that person who has opened up and given and done your best and been organized, and you are the reason why a business has profited. You do deserve the recognition, you deserve the accolades, and perhaps this is the truth. The truth is coming from Spirit to you, directly to you, to say, you are in a win-win situation, no matter how it may look and no matter who may try to be deceptive around you. The truth, as long as you walk in truth and you honor it, it will come back to you. It is your equal. It mirrors itself back to you. And there is opportunity coming to you. And also remembering the beauty of life. I think for many of you, if you were drawn to that peacock feather, seeing life in a more beautiful light is very important for you at this time. And having things around you, material things around you, that bring you pleasure. Because this win-win outcome is represented by a full moon in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, you all. What is Venus? Love, art, beauty, all those things. Very often material things, but not just, cars and houses and stuff like that. It could even be, you're a bubble bath, right? The gel that you use in a bubble bath. It could be, your jewelry, your perfume, your clothing, your sheets. It could be those things that bring you beauty and joy. And those are the things that, as you indulge in those things, recognizing that's how you surrender. That is how you surrender. You surrender by allowing yourself to enjoy all the things that you have acquired, that you have earned. And if someone around you is not being honest with you about giving you your props and helping you have more, helping you achieve more, then that organization is coming to you through your own resources and through Spirit's help as you surrender. There are opportunities that are headed your way. I want another card for you around that opportunity. Spirit, please let me see. What is that Six of Pentacles about? How does that opportunity come? The Ace of Swords. Okay. So this is you reaching a point where you're going to wake up. And I think it's soon, because we're talking about, this new moon in Cancer, but recognizing it's not just about July 17. It's about what echoes out from that based on your mindset during that time. This is you making some affirmative decisions around truth, around, Libra is also an air sign. So this is about you really appreciating truth, not just being in search of it, but honoring it. That's what Spirit is saying. Honoring truth as a benefit to you, as a blessing to you, as something that is meant for your greater good. It is processing the way that you are living right now. Even if, let's use a down-to-earth example here. Let's say you find out that this Seven of Swords, someone has not been honest with you, or you're still healing from someone's betrayal, or something that you're still trying to put in perspective where someone harmed you and was not on the up and up with you in the past. But what Spirit is saying here is by taking heart and taking joy in the fact that the truth was finally revealed and it is what it is, that shifts, that just opens up some floodgates for you for new ideas, for honoring, the fact that you're not meant or designed to live a lie, or to live around people who promote a lie and who do not recognize your value, right? And Spirit is saying, fine. So then once all those filters come off, then that frees your mind to flow in the watery Cancer, that delicious, nurturing self-care. I am better than that. I deserve better than that. And so here's my new thought pattern, my new determination and decisions that I'm making, that if people are not consistent with how I see myself and what I know I deserve, then, hey, I don't have to worry about it. I can surrender it to Spirit. I can surrender it to my guides. I can continue to stay organized on my way forward so that I can open up and stay open to all of the doors and possibilities that are available to you. I absolutely love this for you. I am feeling again like I want one more for you around this deception and this truth. I want to give you a little more clarity around how you can be attuned to that, and so that you can welcome that realization into your life during this new moon energy and capitalize off of it. There's a divine matrix. Wow. A divine matrix. That's it. Spirit is saying everything that happened, and even to the extent that something or someone was felt like a betrayal or a letdown, or you discovered that there was more to it, more beneath the surface with this situation, it's okay. Spirit is saying, you know what? It's okay, because there is a divine plan that is coming together for you all, pile number 2. And I also think that's why it corresponds to when you got this surrender card, right? Spirit is basically saying, you know what, it is what it is, because we are going to help you get to that next phase. And all we need you to do is trust that we're going to give you a win-win outcome. And the way that you really capitalize off of that is by changing your thoughts, right? Thoughts become things. And it's really about how you allow yourself to speak, not just think, but speak. Thoughts become words. And then we say things and we can't take them back. And sometimes that even applies to the things we say to ourselves. If we're doing, that deprecating self-talk, if we're not our own best champions, and we tend to lose sight of the power that we have, the power to regenerate, the power to start again, the power to shift, the power to change. We always have that. We have free will. That's what we do. That's part of our journey, part of our walk. So hold on to that, pile number 2. Because Spirit is all in your mix. The divine matrix, Spirit is all in your mix. And pay attention to the angel number 44. Okay? All right. And a stone that will help you during this time, this new moon in Cancer, comes in your heart chakra. You have the opal. And you know what's also cool about this, you all? I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me, that opal is the birthstone of Libra. And you have that Libra card with that win-win situation, all right? So Libra, many of you who chose this could, in fact, be Libra, sun, moon, or rising, or have that influence around you somehow. But for sure, opal is a stone that will help you during this time. It will help you, and it's that heart chakra. It'll help you get into, the flow of your heart, healing your heart. If some of that, some of that deception, and again, it could, if it's self-deception and you feel like you let yourself down in some way, you've been beating yourself up a little bit. Spirit is like, divine matrix. Remember that you are a part of the divine matrix. You are a part of, a greater plan, and there is a greater plan for your life. And everything that you experienced up until now, it was to bring you to the truth of that situation, to allow you to say, hey, it is what it is. And I think many of you are practical enough, like you can handle that. That is who you are. Give it to me straight. Tell me what it is. But also, then even when we get what we ask for, sometimes there is that little, that backlash of like, oops, okay, then this really is, this person really was lying to me. This really was the situation. I'm not being given, what I deserve. There's those things where, when we get the truth and we say, okay, I can handle it, but then there is the handling of it, right? There's the process of handling it. And for you all right now, pile number 2, it is about surrendering to the divine. Bottom line, surrender to the divine, because that's your key to the win-win. That's how you keep your flow of that 6 of Pentacles in and out. Divine reciprocity. And the key for you right now is stay organized, organize your thoughts, organize your speech, keep yourself on a higher level, and get you some opal. Or if you don't have any, just a picture of it, meditate with it, working on that heart chakra. All right, pile number 2. Beautiful reading. I wish you the absolute best. Let me know what you thought about that. Time to surrender, deal with that truth, and change your thoughts around what caused those things. Like, how do they say? Don't even look backwards, because you're not going that way, right? That's what comes to mind for you all. All right, pile number 3. Let's go. Those of you who chose the quartz crystal cluster. Let's see. New moon in Cancer. You have the Hangman, the King of Wands, the World. A fiery climax approaches. All right, so there's some changes on the horizon for you all, pile number 3. Seeing beyond, idealism, the Sage. So there's some wisdom there, seeing beyond. Smoky quartz is a stone that will help you during this time, and your memories. Okay, clear message coming through here, pile number 3. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I said clear message and then I pause like, okay, let me get it right. Okay, here's the deal. I can feel your energy first and foremost, pile number 3. You all are like, there is some real there's, we're in a full moon in Cancer, which is watery energy, but this is the flow for you is there's something that you are built up. There's something built up in you. There's something like you are a take action kind of person. You are ready to take action and the time has come to do it. And I think there's something in this new moon in Cancer that's going to give you sort of an emotional thrust to go ahead and get it going. I'm saying this too because look, I want to present this to you together. You got remember I showed you got the King of Wands, and you also got this a fiery climax approaches with a full moon in Aries. So who is a King of Wands if not potentially a Aries? Could be a Leo and could be a Sagittarius as well. But the point is there's this fiery energy around you. Some of you could in fact be a fire sign, sun, moon, or rising. Okay, Aries, Leo, or Sag, sun, moon, or rising. But there's a passion there. There's oh, yes. Thank you, Spirit. Remembering, too, that also on July 17, if I'm not mistaken, the North Node in astrology, the North Node goes into the sign of Aries, all right? Where that is important is the North Node is about our soul purpose. It is about our life journey. It is about finding our, true north. And so the North Node is headed into Aries, I do believe, on the same day of the new moon, the July 17. So this is a time when, if you chose this pile, you are centered on your drive, your verve, your vitality, your goals, your ambition, how you are living your life, and what you want to do and what you feel like you deserve in taking your next steps. You've been going through a period of examination of that, and some of you could have even felt a little stalled out because we do have the Hangman here for you. So you could have been going through a period of like, I know I got to do something more. I know something needs to come next for me, but I just don't know what that is. And so I'm going to sit still for a minute. It could also be that despite your best efforts to do something new, try something, get something going, things have maybe, seemed like the obstacles in the way, or things just weren't opening up the way you wanted to, flowing the way you wanted them to. So you could have felt like, okay, you know what? I just got to take a moment and step back. But that stepping back is gonna move to the side, you all. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my tea. It's time for that. You're coming out of that phase of having to be in that, in that stage of surrender and waiting, because here comes the world. And the world says, okay, you know what? You ready for change? Spirit says, let's do it. Let's get ready for change. Let's make it happen. With the world, something has come to a completion for you all. There's a life lesson, a situation, a time of life, remembering that life very often goes in cycles. There are times when we're social. There are times when we feel more alone. We need to, be alone and nurture and care for ourselves. There's times when we got to really bust our chops and work super hard. And then there's times when, hey, it's time to let it up a little bit and whoop it up a little bit and have that vacation. Cycles of life. You are headed into a new cycle of life, pile number 3. And it has to do with you. It has to do with some personal goals that you've set for yourself, passions that you're feeling, what you feel you've earned and desired. And part of what's happening to push you through that is your memories. Because you've taken stock. That's part of what was happening in that Hangman energy. You had to take stock of where you've been. You had to, maybe even you were longing. For some of you, this feels like some longing. Also noting how she's positioned there. It could have been longing for the way things were, longing for your youth even, for some of you if you're in advanced years. It could have been longing for youth, longing for the way things were. Just sort of taking that walk down memory lane. But then that gets you, and that's the sage, that wise one. You're recognizing for yourself just how much wisdom you have gained. Sometimes, through situations that were absolutely amazing, and other times through some hard fought situations. But they all led to you getting a greater understanding of who you are in this world. We're going back to that North Node in Aries, and you getting that King of Wands, and this fiery climax approaches. That's saying things truly are coming to a head with this world coming with it, all right? Something is approaching where you are going to turn a corner, pile number 3, and it's going to say, you know what? I see beyond the memories. I see beyond the past. I see beyond my doubts. I see beyond my limitations, whether that's age, health, finances, the support system or network you have around you, whatever your ideas are around what is working for you and what may be challenging around you. Here, Spirit is saying you're going to be able to see beyond it. Something in this new moon in Cancer is going to open up something for you emotionally, where you will see beyond the obvious and the things that you typically have looked to. Because here's idealism, the sun in Aquarius. There's a bigger world that you are ready to feel like you are a part of. And so for some of you, if you have been perhaps, with that hangman, if you have perhaps been going through a period of not necessarily total isolation, although for some of you that could have been the case where you feel sort of cut off. And the thing is, being cut off and feeling isolated and being in that hangman pose, you can be in a room full of people and still have this feeling. Because if you're not engaged, if you don't feel connected at your soul level, if you're not lighting up in somebody's presence, or you don't feel that kind of that interaction that we crave as humans, then that can put you in that hangman position as well, where you have to step back and check yourself out. But this idealism is sitting here for you with the world that says the reason that you had to go through that period is because it was kind of a it was kind of a gestation period that now has you ready to blossom and bloom and see beyond. It's like your third eye. Look at her again. It's like your third eye has been activated, pile number 3. And so now you are able to see beyond the obvious. You're able to see beyond the noise and the chatter that's going on around you, and really be able to hear your own truth and own it. Aries is the sign of the head, the head. It is the first sign of the zodiac, and it is also the sign of the divine self. It is that sign. That's one reason why the King of Wands works so well with it, because the King of Wands doesn't ask permission always, to have, well, would it be okay if I did this? Or what do you think of that? This is a very pioneering energy. Remembering too that Aries is a cardinal sign, as is Cancer. Cardinal sign meaning a pioneering energy, an energy that is not afraid to start something new, go in a new direction. Idealism being ruled by Aquarius. Remember, we have that sun in Aquarius, and that is what Aquarius is, a very idealistic energy, can be very rebellious, can be very very unafraid to do things in a different way. And with the world coming, that is what your guides are saying, pile number 3, is you deserve this. It is time to put self first and not be afraid to pursue your ideals, to not be afraid to do it in a different way, to go at it in a different way, to see beyond how you typically have done things, or how people have typically explained to you or helped you, told you that things were supposed to go a certain way. You are ready. You have the wisdom, the sage. You have gained the wisdom to be able to make that judgment call for yourself. All right, time for a new chapter. Time to put you first. Time to come out of that hanged man pose and begin to put things in motion. And to hang on to your idealism, because it's working for you. It is what helps you see beyond, and it is what helps Spirit take you to that next chapter with that World card coming for you. And a stone that will help you at this time, pile number 3, is the smoky quartz, and it comes in your solar plexus. Your solar plexus chakra. So, meaning solar plexus is about willpower. It is fiery. Remembering you got that fiery climax and full moon in Aries and that King of Wands. This is, you're tripling down on your fiery energy, which is, again, I think that's really cool that here we have this watery new moon in Cancer. But I think for you, It is the power of your emotions, the delight of your emotions, the passion behind your emotions, so that fiery energy is more about the vitality of your life, the vigor, the way that you approach this next section and time of your life, because it is here. A fiery climax approaches. And it is time to move on. You've got the world. And the world is in your hands. Your idealism. I'm going to pull another card for you to see if I can get a specific area of life that they're saying is coming your way. Like, what, now that you're ready to close a chapter on a certain time of life where maybe you have been doubting, now you are seeing beyond. Some of you as well, pile number 3, your spiritual gifts are growing by leaps and bounds. And that is what is helping you see beyond. Your third eye, your hunches, your psychic abilities, your clairs, your clairvoyance, clairaudience, etc. All the clairs, those things have really been opening up for you. And the more they open up for you and you open up to them, that's what turns that page for you. That's what gives you a new lease on life. You have the 4 of Cups. Exactly. It is, now we're getting into some Cups energy, but it is, you are ready for something to kind of give you some verve and excitement, because this is more related. That's where you've been with that Hangman energy. And that's why it's here. Spirit is saying, guess what? It is now time for you to feel the 5 of Wands. Perfect. But in this case, I like the 5 of Wands because here we come with more fire, but it is also saying, don't worry about having to do too much at one time or feeling conflicted around doing something in a very different way. Sometimes we worry about what others will think, or we worry about, I know in the past this has worked for me. There you are in your memories. Remember, we had that memories for you, right? In the past, this is what has worked for me. I may feel a little conflicted about trying to do it in a different way because it is so different, and sometimes change is difficult. But Spirit is saying for you all, it is that time, and keeping your ideals is what really helps you go at it. There is no need for conflict. This is about, and this is where the water of Cancer will help you. That Cancerian energy is to keep yourself very calm. Keep yourself very confident. That's that smoky quartz in your solar plexus chakra. Keep yourself very confident. Understand that you deserve this opportunity to take a new turn in your life. And there we have it. The 10 of Cups. So here comes the Cancer energy capping off your reading with all the feels, because the 10 of Cups is joy. It is satisfaction. It is, the payoff for all of the work done. And that is where you are ready to move to that next level, is that 10 of Cups, is being really satisfied with your life and all that you are still capable of doing. And there is something next on the horizon for you all. It's just a matter of building your solar plexus chakra, building that confidence level that you have within yourself to say, I can do this. I may be moving a little slower than I used to, or I may be in a new environment, or I may be, have to take a chance and take a risk on this new relationship. But the only way to do it is to do it. And that's what, Aries and the King of Wands are the doers of the doers, right? That's where there's no holding back. See beyond any limitation. See beyond any fears, because you have the wisdom to handle whatever it is. If there's a hiccup, you have the wisdom and the ability to be able to go through it. But it is definitely time for you all to pursue your ideals. There's a big world out there that you are a part of. And this new moon in Cancer, pile number 3, is serving as a big reminder of that for you, so that you can really put yourself first, turn that page with the world, see beyond, and move towards that 10 of Cups, that joyful, beautiful energy that is there for you. All right, everybody? Oh, that felt so good. I wish you the absolute best. Let me know how that resonated. I wish you joy and all of the abundance and all the good feels that this new moon in Cancer is bringing. If you want to book a reading with me, put the information in the description box below. If you'd like to leave a tip, if this was helpful for you and you'd like to leave a tip, I certainly appreciate it. Please spread the word about my channel. I'm trying to grow, and I love getting on here and giving you all good content. It is my passion. I hope you feel that. And I wish you absolutely the best. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.